Hello and welcome to a video talking about EDMOND SUMNER, the spark plug of the Indiana Pacers. Maybe not of the Indiana Pacers for long, but nonetheless a spark plug for the Indiana Pacers. In this video I'm going to be talking about EDMOND SUMNER, his path through his early and very young NBA career, how he's been productive for the Indiana Pacers so far this season, specifically with some of the injuries they've had, his increased playing time, and alongside that, just his increased ability to stay on the floor and avoid injuries, which has been an issue for him so far in his career. And so with that being said, if you guys are interested in this type of content, I do 5 or more NBA type videos every week. So if you guys are interested in that, feel free to leave a like down below on this video if you guys do enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you are new and like the NBA content. With that being said, let's get right into it. And so, if we look at on paper, nothing about EDMOND SUMNER jumps off of you. He's really an eye test player, right? Comparative to last season from this season, he's same points per game, 4.9 points per game. He's not putting up a ton of assists, only 1.4 assists, but given it is only 11.6 minutes per game, shooting nearly 50% from the field, 35.5% from deep, while shooting 76% from the free throw line, and minimal steals, 0.6 steals per game. But again, in 11.6 minutes per game, these numbers definitely are not bad. Because when you look at his per 36 minutes, that translates to 15.2 points per game, 1.7 steals, along with 1.2 assists on the season. He's definitely proven to be more of a shooting guard this year than a point guard, based on the addition of TJ McConnell. Obviously, TJ McConnell's thing is playmaking and getting to the rim, so that necessarily hasn't been EDMOND SUMNER's role last year, after he playmaked a bit more last year. The biggest thing for Sumner has just been health. He's struggled with injuries throughout his young career. He's had quite a few of them, knee, along with a few others, and so the fact that he's been able to stay relatively healthy this year and get into games more consistently now with some injury issues on the Pacers that allow him to kind of show his value on this team. Most notably in the month of March so far, he's played 17.7 minutes per game, which is much higher than any other month so far this season, putting up 7.3 points per game, 0.7 steals, and while shooting 42% from 3, 47% from the field. His roles increased, his shots have increased, his production has increased, and his efficiency has increased. And it's always a positive sign when you see someone's usage go up and their efficiency go up. Because when you see someone whose usage goes up and their production goes up, but their efficiency doesn't, that's when you get guys that potentially put up so-called empty stats or that don't contribute to winning, right? Those guys that huck up shots on a crappy team. It was Tim Hardaway Jr. with the Knicks for years. He was just a guy who shot a lot of shots on those Knicks teams, and he wasn't necessarily someone who was efficient at it. Someone like that, right? But that's not something we're seeing from him this summer. His production has gone up, his efficiency has gone up, and his energy on the floor is just so great. And that's something that these stats don't show that I want to talk about. His energy, his athleticism, his effort on the floor on both ends is just something that doesn't show up in the box score. His lateral quicks are very good on defense. He's always getting in on the passing lanes and hustling on the defensive end. His ability to fast break with or without the ball on cuts or on the dribble is very nice. He's had some absolutely unreal highlight slam dunks off of the fast break this year because of that. His ability to get out and run and finish at the rim in the air. His ability to use his athleticism is just so versatile on both ends of the floor and so dynamic. He just brings so much energy when he comes off the bench, and it can bring a real injection of life to a second unit, which I think is really valuable for a lot of teams. The interesting thing is, though, is because as much as EDMOND SUMNER has had a much better season this year, has been very valuable for their second unit in Indiana, and is someone that is, especially within the last 3 to 4 weeks, really shown himself to be a valuable piece of this team. I don't know if there's a future for him on this team, at least as far as the season goes, now that everyone is getting back to being healthy. If we look at the guards on this team, there's Malcolm Brogdon, Karis LeVert, TJ McConnell, Aaron Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, although he's day-to-day at the moment, but he will be back soon. And then EDMOND SUMNER is number 6. And so Now with Karis LeVert back, once Jeremy Lamb finds his way back into the lineup, I don't know how much Edmond Sumner is going to play because Aaron Holiday is most likely to get those minutes ahead of him, and deservedly so. And Edmond Sumner is still under contract with the Pacers for next season on a team option. And so the question lies as to where Edmond Sumner goes and where his future holds through the next bit of his career. And it's a bit of an unknown because he's played very well and he definitely deserves to be someone who should be bringing life and injection onto a starting unit. I'm not saying he's someone who's about to be a sixth man or anything crazy, but he just brings good positive energy and injection of life on both ends of the floor off your bench. And I think that is so valuable in this league when your bench is flat and needs a little bit of boost of energy to be able to have that guy with high athleticism who's very dynamic and who brings high energy and effort to the floor and to the game every night. I think that's really important to have, but it's quite possible that we don't see much of Edmond Sumner anymore for the next year and a half if Indiana do decide to take that team option. Now I hope for Edmond Sumner's sake that the Indiana Pacers decide to not take that Edmond Sumner team option next year due to the fact that they realize they aren't going to use him very much, as I am expecting once Karis LeVert is back now getting full minutes and is back to full health. Thankfully, he is back to full health now after his health scare. And so it's nice to see him back on the court. But it's an interesting scenario now in which if Edmond Sumner doesn't get that team option taken up on by the Pacers, he could very well go and be an influential piece of someone's bench next year. And I think that would be really fun to see. At age 25 now, it's his fourth year in the league. And if he can continue to stay healthy, he's definitely someone who could show very good promise and talent off the bench for a team in the league. He's shown good potential throughout his career in portions, and starting back with Xavier back in college. And so, like I mentioned, 25 and through 26 till December, he still definitely has some years to continue to grow his upside and be a valuable piece in the league for someone. And he's just someone that I've really enjoyed watching this season. I think he's very impactful, very fun to watch, very influential on a bench to bring that energy. And as I mentioned, I think that's just really valuable for anyone in the league to have off of their bench. So that being said, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on Edmond Sumner moving forward, his quality of play, his impact on the bench, and where do you think he could potentially go moving forward, and what his role could be, and what teams you could suspect might be interested in him if his team option doesn't get taken up this year. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are. With that being said, that's going to be all for my thoughts on Edmond Sumner here today. If you guys did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Share it with anyone you think might be interested. I thank you guys for watching, and tomorrow we will see an episode on the San Antonio Spurs and why I feel their future is very bright and why they have a lot of potential ways they can go about things in the next few years, many future talents that they can build around, trade around for different assets to reconstruct. But I really like where the Spurs team is rebuilding under Paul towards the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.